It's Monday. You know what that means. Time for another episode of the Flex Zone podcast, the hottest sports show in all of the universe. Only place giving you sports how you want when you need it, breaking down your NFL Week 1. And of course, talking about the Monday night game we got here right now. We have a major breaking injury that could affect the rest of the NFL season for a certain team in New York. We're going to recap all the Week 1 action. Ravens, Commanders. Talk about Deion in Colorado. Recap our picks for Week 1. Look ahead to Week 2. And of course, we get goofy with Cravante. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. It's the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Episode 407, taking you to heaven. Let's go to it right now. More lit than the University of Colorado football game. It is the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it, fellas.
When you need it.
Episode 407, taking you straight to heaven. Breaking the injury news. We're going to get right to it soon. Colorado talk, Commanders, Ravens, Week 1 recap, game ball, not so game ball, Week 2 picks, and of course, Goofy with Cravante. If you guys are in the chat right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. A lot of content on the channel. We'll talk more about it a little bit later. But leading off, social media producer, my boy, my guy. He was at the game yesterday. He had a good weekend. Was a little goofy at times, but he made it work. And hopefully, he eventually got his wings yesterday that he was waiting for while we were doing the post game show. Big Raj, how you feeling, my guy?
I'm doing all right, man. It was a weird weekend. Well, only you know the details of it, Byron. But yeah, the game itself was fine. But yeah, it was a weird weekend. But yeah, we got to get into some major injury news. So I don't got that much of a soliloquy tonight. So let's just get it popping.
As this man comes to the stage, he is the captain of the Goofy Ship. He is the Commander and he is the voice of reason. He is the co-founder and one of the senior producers, Cravante, baby. Okay, the song didn't want to stop. It had a mind of its own. It really had a mind of its own. I don't know what happened.
It needs to go away on its own. That's what it needs to do. But
well, no, that's goofy.
Yes, it was quite goofy. Week 1 was crazy, and man, we might have to just go ahead and jump into it, man. It's a lot of craziness to get to, a lot of craziness to talk about, and a lot of goofiness to point out. Bum. I'm good. Let's do it.
Man of 1,000 nicknames, Pride of the East Side, Savior, Misbehavior, the A-lister, Mr. 25-8, Mr. No Days Off, Drizzy Dre, my brother, my guy, the founder here, the Flex on Messiah, the Tribal Chief. What's going on, brother?
I'm just glad to be back for another episode with the guys, man. I'm excited.
Hey, man, we appreciate you being here as always, Dre, the showstopper. Let's get to it, fellas. I'm not going to waste too much time. Raj, you brought it up before we went live. It's only right we talk about it. I'm going to start with you. I think you said you were just in the gym first quarter, and Aaron Rodgers was already getting carted off the field, cast on his leg. Looks like it's being reported as an Achilles injury. Game is tied currently 13-13. Zach Wilson in to start, but it doesn't look good for your boy Duck Dodger. Already 1 quarter into his Jets debut, the biggest Jets game probably in the last decade.
Yo, you muted, bro.
You muted, brother.
You muted, good brother.
And it doesn't look good. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow with the MRI. It was one of those things, man. But luckily, the New York Jets might actually pull away with this game because, my God, man, the dude on Madden, Josh Allen, has been completely awful in this game. Terrible quarterback, playing like straight up garbage, and just turned the ball over yet again. Uh, so the Jets might actually get a win tonight. But as far as the season goes, Zach Wilson is not the guy at all. If you're trying to get to a Super Bowl, that he's not the guy, man, not at all. So if you're a Jets fan, you better pray on hands and knees that is a minor injury to Aaron Rodgers, but it's just bad, man. That's pretty sad, man. If you're been waiting for this man, for this whole entire offseason, you get him on your team. He's loving the atmosphere. He's out there at the games with teammates. He's smiling ear to ear. He's talking to Pat McAcheese, on his podcast, and they yucking it up about how good of a season that he's going to have, and the whole nine. They just pulled out the red carpet for him, and all of a sudden, 4 plays into the game, and his brother is getting carted off the damn field and into the locker room. Unreal. But we shall see what's going to happen to him tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they'll let us know in the morning after they have the MRI if it's an Achilles, if it's just an ankle sprain or what. But if you're a Jets fan, man, that's bad business, man. But, shout out to the New York Jets defense for playing extremely well tonight and, keeping them in this game, and probably will take the win because the other guy, Josh Allen, like I said, the guy that everybody was, talking great about, Lamar can never be this, Lamar can never be that. Straight up awful tonight as a quarterback. So there you go. Those are my thoughts.
I'm gonna go to Cravante, brother. We were talking before we went on air. You said you read a tweet that said Josh Allen ain't that guy.
Man, one of the guys that I follow for sports betting, he just said Josh Allen in all caps, not that guy. And I was like, I can't disagree with nothing Rod said because it is all actual factual. But Josh Allen has been very reckless with the ball. He's always been kind of reckless, kind of boneheaded, a little bit. But ever since Brian Daboll left, it's been all downhill. That's the value of having a legitimate offensive coordinator, and leaving it looks like it's a different quarterback. You would think this is not the same quarterback that went toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes just a few short years ago. It's completely turned upside down, and with Aaron Rodgers leaving, you would have thought all the air has been sucked out of the New York Jets jersey at the Meadowlands and all that, and yet and still, because of y'all boy, well, he was my boy once upon a time, but because of Josh Allen literally giving the ball away, the Jets are going to have an opportunity to still win this game, even with Zach Wilson. So it's unfortunate, but they may come away with a win. But my guys, Byron, Raj, Dre, we were talking about the schedule either last week or the week before, and their first 6 games are crazy with Aaron Rodgers. So without Aaron Rodgers, like hopefully he's only out for a couple weeks or what have you. But without Aaron Rodgers, even Byron, you said best 3-3. I was like, yeah, 3-3, 4-2 if they're getting frisky, but 3-3 don't look like what happened. Even if they win tonight, it doesn't look great. So good luck with this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. And even when he comes back, he's not gonna be 100%. So that's really unfortunate for the Jets fans, but some things, some organizations are just quite unfortunate, aren't they?
Dre, let's get you in here, brother. Aaron Rodgers is 39 years old as well.
I mean, when you talk about age, Aaron plays into his Jets debut, Monday Night Football, a huge stage for an organization that hasn't had this since the Rex Ryan days. So hopefully it's not a major injury. It would suck if it was, because the huge expectations for the Jets. And then it's just not going to get any easier because I mean, if he is injured and able to play next week, they play. I think they play Dallas next week. So,
Oh
and it's
boy, oh boy.
Yep, in
So
Dallas, Trey, in Dallas.
in a place where he usually has good fortune.
is well. Americans do hope that best happen.
Dre on the
Dre, we can't hear you.
Uh,
Hold on. Go ahead, say it again, Dre. Go ahead, try again. Yeah, you're muted. Go ahead, try now, Dre.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Try now.
Okay. Oh, I was just saying that for right now, the Jets, you would just hope that this isn't a major injury to Aaron Rodgers because of the huge expectations that are about to come, and their schedule is not going to get any easier. You need Aaron Rodgers, especially with the first 6 games, to kind of at least set the tone and try to help them make that run that they're hoping to make this year.
Yeah, they play at Dallas this week coming, but they could, like Rod said, pull it out tonight. We'll see. It's 2-minute warning. We'll keep you guys posted on that. I wanted to touch on real quick. Let's go to the college ranks. I wanted to touch on Deion in Colorado, currently ranked number 22 in the country. I think they jumped up a few spots even today after the 2-0 start, defeating Nebraska and, of course, TCU in week 1. And also wanted to bring up the schedule and get you guys' thoughts. Is this team legit? How many wins do you see possibly for them? And they got a tough schedule coming up, like I mentioned, but how good are Deion's Buffalo? Cavante, I'm gonna start with you, brother. You see the schedule. I'm gonna probably have to add a
blow it
little
up.
bit to it. Yeah, I got you, brother. There you go. How about that? How about that?
They look like they for real. Shador kicked in the door against TCU with 500 of them things passing,
Let me do that.
and
I'm gonna rub it up real
you
quick.
know,
I'm gonna bring it back up.
you gonna bring
Yeah,
back
I'm
up.
gonna bring
All
it back
right.
and get a better picture.
They got some legit. I mean, when Deion said he was bringing his Louis, he was bringing his bags with him. He was not lying. He got a bunch of wild dogs over there, man. We all know Travis Hunter, looking like the best two-way player we've seen in quite some time. And then of course, we have Sanders at safety as well. So they got guys all over the place. And the one important thing that we can take away from this is that they believe, which is the biggest thing you can have going into each of these games week in and week out. Because that man believes, and he's instilling that same belief into these young kids, these young men. They believe they've got to beat anybody. Now, as far as how many wins, I can see. What was that? 2, 4, 6, 8. They could probably get about 8, 7. I can see them getting 7, 8 wins. You know what I'm saying? Probably not competing, not competing for a championship this year, but they could get into how does the bowl games work out for the Pac-12?
I think the Pac-12 winner usually gets the Rose Bowl, I believe.
I'd love to see Deion in a bowl game, if it could be that one. But I mean, I could see maybe about 8 wins because they're still gonna surprise a couple more teams. I think they'll beat Colorado State. I think they'll beat Stanford. Is that Washington State? I think they'll beat them. They'll have problems with because and in these legit level quarterbacks, they'll have problems with Oregon. They'll have problems with USC, of course. And is that Utah at the end?
Yep, Utah ranked team as well.
Problems with Utah as well. So I think that's probably 3 losses at the most. Well, no, the 3 losses so far, and then it's up in the air with the other games. So yeah, they get 7-8 wins this year.
Raj, how you feeling about Colorado, brother? Fire starter, Deion.
I just feel I mean, he's gonna have. I think the rest of the season is gonna be pretty good for Deion. I wouldn't be too high on them just yet. They won their first 2 games. I think he needs to, chill out with some of the antics. I mean, I get it. Shador is looking like a phenomenal player at the moment, over 900 passing yards, and he's doing his thing at right now. But him and Caleb Williams will have to meet. Well, I think after next week, so we shall see what happens with that. But I think that they can probably win about 8 games, like Ravante said. I think that they're on the way up, and it also helps that the portal that Deion loves so much is in their favor because I'm pretty sure a lot of kids right now are looking to go to Colorado in the coming years if he's the coach. And the portal will be the way to get there. So it's just the start of a good beginning for Deion Sanders. But like I said before, he needs to humble himself a little bit, just a little bit. Start going after reporters and stuff. They gotta do all that. We understand. You coach Prime. We know what your name is. Everybody, we know what your name is. But just keep stacking those wins, baby, and keep doing your thing. But I'm rooting for Coach Prime. I think you can get about 8 or 9 wins. Maybe even make a great bowl game, but we shall see. But hopefully Shador Sanders keeps on that path, though, because I like what I'm seeing for these first 2 weeks from that kid. I think he can be a dog if he continues to keep playing at this level.
Dre, you with us? Trying to get set up here. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see after this week. Like I said, they go to Oregon, and they have also UCLA in there as well. Dre, you got any thoughts on Colorado?
Yeah, I'm actually liking what Deion and them are doing. I'm curious about as they get deeper and deeper into their schedule, that USC matchup. I'm curious because I think that can be for the whoever wins that may get the Heisman Trophy between Caleb and Shador. So we shall see what's going to happen between those two. But thus far, I mean, hats off to Deion and what he's been able to do. And taking these, some of these players from Jackson State now to Colorado on a bigger stage, and right now being 2-0, we'll see how that momentum continues. But it's showing that not only players from HBCUs can play, but also that Deion can coach.
Yeah, let us know, guys, if you're tuning in. What you think about Colorado? Looking at the schedule, what do you think that Deion will do with this team? Looks like we're at around 8 or 9 wins. Like I said, after this week, they do go to USC. That'll be something. No, they go to Oregon, excuse me. Then they host USC. That is a home game for them. Then they also have games against UCLA, Oregon State, Washington State, and Utah. So it'll be an interesting rest of the season. Go ahead, Cavante.
Oregon State will probably be tough because DJ, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but
Uguwale, something like that. Youngalale, something like
that. From Clemson, correct?
Yep, transferred.
He's over at Oregon State, so that which would probably be a gimme game back in the day is not a gimme game now. But Oregon State's always been tough, but that's not a gloss over game either.
You're right about that. Well, Cavante, since you are on the screen, it's only right we take a trip down 95, my brother. I believe you said the tailgate got canceled, but
yeah. People was everywhere. People was worried about the rain and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, man, whatever. So
It was a little shaky. It was a little shaky. A little E-Man, a little shaky at first, but you guys got the win, baby. 20-16. You beat the Cardinals. You guys trailed. Sam Howell kept his composure. The defense turned up in the second half. Scary Terry didn't have the biggest of games, but the team found a way to win, Cravante, even without Chase Young as well.
So I actually put a post up. I was writing some of my thoughts down earlier, and have some things I have to get off my chest and all that. You know how I like to start, Byron, start low and end on a high note as best I can. Turnovers, man. 3 of them things. One of them led to points. If this was probably any other team, we probably would have lost. But thankfully, we drew the Cardinals as the first game, so we were able to overcome those three turnovers. But 3 turnovers in a game is 9 times out of 10 with our offense still trying to get into rhythm and get the timing down and get the chemistry down and all that. We don't have the firepower to just up and come back. You know what I'm saying? So 3 turnovers is not going to bode well for us as the season progresses. But hopefully this is just a week 1 thing. And those things get better. And we are able to limit those turnovers. Next thing, penalties. My gosh. It was so much laundry on that field. It was crazy. Like so many boneheaded penalties from special teams to offensive line. A couple was on the defense. And I'm just like, what? Again, we don't have an explosive offense. So any penalty will set us back it will turn a good drive. A holding penalty could turn a good drive into a punt. So those kind of things have to get cleaned up. So I will say, if we're gonna switch from bad to good, defense didn't give up any touchdowns. So that's good. Again, week 1, it was the Cardinals, but not giving up any touchdowns is a good sign for the defense. Defensive line, like we all knew, was going to be dominant. Montez Sweat looking like he's showing out while Chase Young is on the sidelines. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne being very, very dominant up front and pretty much having their way at the line of scrimmage, which is great moving forward. Sam Howell overcoming the turnovers and on the last drive, leading the team downfield and running it in for the touchdown is really, really good to see. I hear in training camp, he's one that does not get too high when things are going well, and he does not get too low when things are going bad. So that is a great attitude to have because it's going to be a lot of bad to go on, and there's also going to be some good. So him being able to overcome the turnovers and still come out there and finish off the drive and ultimately finish off the game is a good sign. Next, Jahan Dotson looks like he's going to get a lot of stats this upcoming year, especially due to Terry McLaurin. Well, he was hurt, so he was out there really as a decoy while Jahan Dotson was running all over the middle of the field. He's going to get a lot of stats, positive stats this year, along with Logan Thomas. If he could bring his hands with him, as long as he consistently brings his hands with him, Logan Thomas will get a lot of stats as well. And our running back 1 is Brian Robinson. Not that we didn't know that already, but kind of solidified this. And one bad thing, Gibson has had fumbling problems in the past. That is going to get him in the doghouse. But luckily, we have a guy like Brian Robinson to pick up the pieces and continue to run hard and get positive yards. So that's good. That was also good moving forward. Eric Bieniemy, good win. Good. I'll take the win. Clean up some of these miscues on offense. Offensive line is still kind of you know what I'm saying? We gave 6. Was it 6 sacks? I lost count, honestly.
I believe so. I'll double check that.
So, and I mean, to say we gave up 6 sacks and the Cowboys had a performance like they did last night and did 7, it sounds a lot worse. It sounds a lot worse than what it really was. But our offensive line is still a concern. So, but we'll take the win. New regime, new ownership, new culture. This is a great first win. And last but not least, shout out to the fans for selling it out. I ain't seen a sold out FedEx Field in quite some time. So things are going in the right direction for the Commanders.
Yeah, 6 sacks. 6 sacks.
Jesus Christ. My heavens.
Real quick, you go to Denver this week. What's your initial thoughts? We're only on Monday, but initial thoughts. Denver did lose, by the way, as well. So that's a winnable game.
Listen, man, we got a chance because Russell Wilson looks like he's scared to throw it deep. So if you're gonna dig and dunk the whole game, it's gonna be rough sledding for him. Hopefully, I think our defense will come to play. It is in Denver, so we are in the Mile High City. So hopefully we get there early, and hopefully guys can get acclimated to the weather and the atmosphere. But I like our chances. Because again, Russell Wilson, it looks like he's falling off. I hate to say that he's falling off a cliff, but it looks like it. Sean Payton is going to try his very best to not allow him to go off that cliff, but I like our chances.
And we have a field goal off the upright. It is good. The tie game, 16-16, Tyler Bass with 2 seconds left. Looks like we're headed to overtime, Raj, with the Jets and the Bills. I know you over there laughing. I was watching this. Cavante was talking. I'm leaning, and I thought it was no good. And it hits off the upright, off the backboard, and goes in.
It went in.
He was leaning with the football.
I'm like, Dre, you there? I want to get your thoughts on the Ravens because we come up 95. But I guess while we wait for Dre, Raj, I know we were on a post game yesterday. If you want to let the people know how you feel, 25-9. Unfortunately, though, J.K. Dobbins goes down.
I'm here. I'm here.
You want to go first? Want to go first, Dre? Let's get your thoughts, brother.
Because I know Raj is going to probably give a more in-depth take than what I did, being that he was at the game. I was saying we were all texting, during the game. Lamar Jackson, I think that it's going to take a little bit of time. I mean, I think that sometimes, we expect the offenses to really, flourish. And like I was saying, it takes the offenses a lot of time compared to the defenses when you're first, especially with now, like the players not playing during the preseason. Right now, it's a new offense. A lot of new offensive pieces, but one highlight that I did like from the offense was Flowers. I thought Flowers did a really good job out there, and then I think Byron, it was your pick to say that he could be the offensive rookie of the year. A lot of good flashes out there from him, but the rest of the offense, and I'm sorry, Odell. I thought Odell had a pretty good game as well. But I think that it's going to take time for the offense to click a little bit. So we just have to be patient. And unfortunately, with J.K. and that injury to him, because he was looking for a breakout season and to try to get his money that he does deserve. But that's just, it's just looking like too many injuries right now as far as him. And then on the defensive side, I like some things that we were able to do, because I think that, to be able to hold the Texans, because there were moments there and flashes where I thought the Texans could have started getting a comeback. So I think the defense was pretty good, but I think offensively we still have a ways to go, and it's going to take some time, but we just got to be patient.
You're on mute, Byron.
My bad. Dre's heading home, so we'll get more of his takes later. Raj, you were at the game yesterday. We did the post game, but the people who may not have saw it, you want to reiterate your thoughts? And after hearing what we heard today about some of the injuries, looks like most of those guys probably won't play on Sunday against Cincinnati.
Yeah, it looks like none of them was going to play on Sunday. So, Marcus Williams will find out more in the coming days. I'm praying he doesn't have that Cody Rhodes pectoral muscle that because Because if that's the case, then he'll be out for 9 months. If it's fully torn off the bone. If it's a slight tear, maybe he can come back later on in the season, but we don't know. So he has to make a decision if he wants to get surgery or if he wants to rehab it. So Geno Stone is up for right now and probably for a good while. As far as Stanley, his knee. We probably won't see him until another month. Honestly, at the earliest, probably October. We probably see him. I think Linderbaum might be a couple weeks. I don't see him missing too many games. But yeah, JK. I said it yesterday. I feel bad for the brother. It was pretty much a terrible, terrible injury that he suffered. And I think Harbaugh said it in his presser that JK texted him and they talked for a little bit. And he said that he'll be back stronger than ever, of course. Not sure if it's going to be with the Ravens or whatnot. But I do think if he doesn't find a team, some tells me that he could be here again. Maybe it's going to be on the Ravens price tag and price point. But if he wants to chance in the NFL, I think the Ravens probably would give JK another chance if he comes back next year or whatever to play football. So I wouldn't rule that out if I'm Ravens fans. Also, I was at the game, of course. Zay Flowers, I'm not surprised at what I saw. He looks like a number one wide receiver. He's acted like one the whole time he's been here, in training camp and preseason, and now in the regular season. He just looks like he's going to be a guy that's going to break out. If he gets more opportunities, the sky's the limit for this kid. I think Odell looked okay. He drew a couple penalties that I really liked. He probably could have had more catches, but that's fine. Those penalties count as catches, in my opinion. So he did his thing out there. Rashad Bateman looked solid for the 3 catches that he caught. Lamar was a little bit rusty. It wasn't totally his fault because the offensive line was rusty as well. So hopefully, even with Stanley and Linderbaum going down, Salah and I think Pat McCarry can step in and it still can be serviceable going into the Bengals game. But yeah, it was a big rust fest for the Ravens, man. Defensively, they look pretty good though. Usually when they play rookie quarterbacks, they make them look like rookies. That's exactly what CJ Stroud looked like, a rookie yesterday. So, the defense did their job. But Joe Burrow's a different beast. We know this going in. And I'm pretty sure we'll pick the games later on once, before we get out of here. But yeah, the Ravens look promising. They got a lot of kinks to work out, of course. And I think they can do it if they stay focused and hopefully stay injury-free for the rest of the season. But if they, things happen, of course. This is the NFL. So, yeah, man, the first game, rough. But hopefully going into the next game, they'll look a lot better.
Vontae, I want to get your opinion on CJ Stroud. I thought Stroud started off a little shaky, but he looked good as the game went on. Your thoughts on your former Ohio State quarterback? And maybe even all the rookies if you want to touch on Richardson and Bryce Young. I know Bryce Young had a tough day. Richardson had a up and down day, but your thoughts on some of the rookies?
So, generally speaking, they all had a pretty rough day. The only no, I gotta say, he's not a rookie, but this is his first year really playing and being being QB number 1. It was Jordan Love, but we'll get into him a little bit later. CJ Stroud, pretty much what I expected. He threw a lot, threw a little bit more than I would like. He did not put the ball in the end zone, but I think he had about 240 yards passing. So it's not, it's not terrible, but unfortunately you drew the Ravens as the first game. So it's like, ugh. At this point, I'm glad he made it out alive, because you know how the Ravens could be from the AFC North. It could get ugly sometimes, but he got out the game. He able to walk on and off the field, so that's important. But I think CJ Stroud will be okay. I think he will be okay. I'm not sure if he's going to be life changing for the Houston Texans, but he will be okay. Anthony Richardson had a great. I think he showed a lot of flashes, But who's the head coach? Steichen, Shane.
Shane Steichen from the Eagles, former OC.
Perfect. I think that's a perfect offensive mind to be able to help him through this through his first year as a professional. He did really a lot of good things, obviously. But getting hurt at the end,
Look at this guy smiling over there.
Oh
yeah, we had a game-winning punt return. Game-winning punt return.
The Jets just won
overtime.
On a game on a punt return. So we picked the right team at least for this week.
Cool, we'll take it.
yes, we will. And I got my fantasy win against Q, so I'll definitely take it.
Indeed. Anthony Richardson got hurt at the very end, so that is unfortunate. But that kind of comes with the territory of being a mobile quarterback. So hopefully he comes back sooner rather than later. But that game against the Jags, I thought the Jags was going to mop the floor with them, and they did not. Even Colts had the lead on a couple different occasions, but Trevor Lawrence and them finally took the reins and held on. Bryce Young, rough day. Welcome to the NFL. He drew a divisional game, and he drew the Red Hot Falcons. Listen, I know the Falcons have been falconing lately. They always do, but offensively, they are going to be crazy. They are going to be really good. And when you come up against a rookie quarterback, 9 times out of 10, the best thing to do is send pressure. Just send pressure. And see how fast he's able to dissect defenses and go through his progressions quickly enough to find his offensive weapon. But it was rough. It was rough for him and down hot Atlanta in the road game and road divisional game. So he had his welcome to the NFL moment. I think he'll be okay. Again, health is my number one thing for him because he's a little bit undersized. So the Panthers' number one job, protect him. I think he will be a pretty damn good quarterback. Just got to protect him. Hey, Byron, you muted.
Yeah, you muted.
Still muted. I'm still muted. I'm sorry. Appreciate the insight, Cravante. I thought most of them, look like rookies, but look like they got some promise. 3 starting on week 1 is always interesting. Let's go through the scores real quick, and then we will get to our game ball, not so game ball, real quick. Thursday, we had the Lions beat the Chiefs 21-20. As I mentioned, Ravens beat the Texans 25-9. Browns blow out the Bengals 24-3. Buccaneers, one of the shocks of the weekend, beat the Vikings 20-17. Saints outlast the Titans 16-15. Falcons, as Cravante mentioned, 24-10. Jaguars 31-21 over the Colts. Steelers pulled out hammer time in Pittsburgh 30-7. Commanders 20-16 over the Cardinals. Raiders beat the Broncos 17-16. And what was probably the game of the day, Dolphins outgunned the Chargers 36-34. Eagles defeat the Patriots on Tom Brady's return day 25-20. Packers and Jordan Love beat the Bears 38-20. Rams, another shocker, beat the Seahawks 30-13. Cowboys pretty much obliterate the Giants off the map 40-0. And as we just witnessed, the Jets beat the Bills 22-16 in overtime. You guys know what we do here. Game ball, not so game ball, standout player, dud of the week, good, bad, ugly, anything in between. Rod, you want to start it off?
I sure do. My game ball goes to Mr. I can't do it right. Hey, there you go. Mr. Love. Yeah, so I picked last week. I told y'all he was going to come out smoking and on fire. And boy, oh boy, did he come out there and started whipping the Bears' ass when he needed to do it. Good debut for the young man. I think he spent, 2 years underneath of Aaron Rodgers. And he was honing his skills. And he looked good out there, man. He looked really good from the highlights that I saw. So I'm very happy for him. Green Bay might have another one. This might be that they might be 3 for 3, man, because they came from Brett to Aaron and now to Jordan Love. And you know what the formula might be? Just sitting behind great quarterbacks, man. That might be it. Just sit behind a great quarterback for a couple years, and you might be able to find that love. You know what I'm saying? That love. So good job for Jordan Love. Not so game ball though. Unfortunately, has to go to this son of a gun right here, Josh Allen, man. My God, man. You're on the cover of Madden. I understand that's a curse in itself, but you basically handed this Jets team this game tonight. And I actually watched most of this game, man. It was just a layup fest. You just throwing it deep for no apparent reason. All you had to do was keep the game simple. You know, just hit the route, hit the hot guy, hit the hot read. You're throwing in the double coverage. You're getting knocked on your behind. You're not sliding. You're just doing a bunch of stupid stuff. And Aaron Rodgers didn't even play the game. He was only out there for about 5 seconds, I believe. And you still took this L. So a terrible game for him. I know he feels like a complete fool, as he should. Stephon Diggs, I'm pretty sure, is extremely angry right now, like he was in that playoff game. But yeah, man, terrible game from Josh Allen. He got to get it together. It was an awful performance.
Dre, you with us? You got a game ball, not so game ball before I go to Cavante?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do like Cavante, start low but end high. My not so game ball would probably go to the Cincinnati Bengals. Just higher expectations for them. Joe Cool, he came in there with the all white dress like he was, the Messiah, and it wasn't a good day. I know it was a divisional game, but they still have those struggles against the Browns. And then my game ball has to go to, how about them Dallas Cowboys, man? Unexpected, dropping a 40 and a shutout. I could not believe that. And Micah Parsons, he should be a running for MVP. I mean, he said that not only does he want to be a Hall of Famer, he wants to be the best at his position, and he balled out. I mean, the whole Dallas Cowboys defense balled out, but especially Micah Parsons, who continues to get better and better each and every season. For him to be such a young guy, you already know that he's going to get a huge payday, probably the biggest payday, and well-deserved, because every year he's just continued to grow within that position and wanting to get better and wanting to change the culture for the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm gonna say that they get my game ball.
Last but not least, you already know the vibes. Back again, start low and high, Cravante, baby.
My gosh, it was so many lows, so many not so game ball nominees. I'm not gonna say one. I'll save it for Goofies of the week. But so I'll go to my second one. My gosh, Pittsburgh, what the hell was that? Like, it was so many great reviews. We already know how Mike Tomlin, how he get down. Pittsburgh Steelers defense, they're at home. And they just were flat as pancakes, man. Brock Purdy and the 49ers defense came in and punched them in the mouth. And it was bad from beginning to the end. My gosh, how they went from west coast to east and punched them in the mouth and then left. That's just crazy. That's not Pittsburgh Steelers football, yo.
That's Dre's man, Kenny Pickett laying that egg, by the way. That's Dre's man. He crowned him.
Whatever.
Not Harris. Everybody looked bad, man. Everybody looked bad. And Nick Bosa wasn't even a factor, which is the scary part. But yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers coming out at home, getting severely whooped. Raj, they used your belt for this one.
They sure did. They used my belt, baby. I appreciate that ass whooping that the 49ers put on them all day long. Why is dead silence, man?
I played the belt sound. Kravante heard it.
I didn't hear it.
I was playing your belt sound as I put you on the screen.
Man.
Yes. I was playing the belt sound for you. What's up, Big Reg?
What's up, Big Reg?
Yo, what up, man? Okay, and with game ball, my gosh, I was not as high on this team nor this quarterback because of previous history. But Tua Tagovailoa, my heavens, he threw for 3,000 yards in the first game. It was crazy. And Tyreek Hill had 1,500 yards receiving in the first game.
Why is Tyreek Hill always wide open? Why?
Because he's the fastest dude on the field.
First of all, because Goofy, Brandon Staley, I told y'all about him. That's why the Chargers gonna miss the playoffs. Goofy, Brandon Staley had them in man coverage the whole time. Didn't switch nothing. Man coverage the whole time. 200 yards. There you go. Tyreek Hill, 200 yards. And how many touchdowns? He had 2 touchdowns? Or I don't know how many touchdowns.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. I had him on fantasy. He had 2 touchdowns, 215 yards, and I think like 10 receptions or something like that.
What are we doing? But Tua throwing for what, 466 or something like that. He is the clear front runner for MVP right now, and my gosh, I got to start putting a little bit more respect on Tua's name, and also shout out to head coach Mike McDaniels for sticking with him.
Yeah. Yes, real quick. Get my game ball to the matter of fact. Let me get my Nassau game ball. The Seahawks. They kind of laid the egg against the Rams. Rams are a team we think are going to be in the top 5 of the draft. Might still be, but can't lose that game. Seattle. You're supposed to be competing this year. Not sure what happened there. And my game ball goes to the Lions, guys. The Lions are looking like they are the team to beat in that division, and they beat the tribal chief. Yeah, the Vikings are done.
So now, and it's the Packers also, but the Packers won. So who knows? What I thought might be a totally different situation.
Yep. And I think the Lions have, I believe, the Seahawks this week, the Falcons, and then I think they play the Panthers. Then I think they play the Packers. So a very favorable schedule for the Lions to start out. They could win 4 or 5 out of their first 6 and be sitting real pretty before they come to Baltimore, Roger. That'll be an interesting game as well. So give a shout out to the Lions. I know Travis Kelce wasn't playing. I know we didn't have any Chris Jones, but to beat Patrick Mahomes in any capacity, that's a big confidence boost.
That's a plus.
Well. Yes. Dre, you got the recap from week 1? Or are you still driving before we get to week 2?
So for the picks, I led with 10-6. Unc was tied with me at 10-6. Byron, you were 9-7, and Cravante was 8-8.
Terrible.
Cool. Yeah, Dre, you.
So you ain't leading. We tied. Duh.
Yeah, you definitely hit Dre. You picked Texas and the Lions, brother. That set you off straight.
Yeah, I mean, but the damn Steelers, they sent me back because between them and the Bears, I don't know one.
You should have picked Love. You should have been in love like me.
I should have, but I had some hope in Justin Fields, and him and Fields and Kenny Pinkett let me down. I'll just say.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I won't jump off the Justin Fields bandwagon yet, Cravante. I'll give it some time. I was as let down as New York fans were between the Giants and the Jets this week.
But the Jets won. So.
I mean,
not because of Aaron. I understand that not because of him, but
that's why I'm alluding to. Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Well, let's get on to week 2 Thursday night. We have the Vikings traveling to Philly on Prime Video. Back to this goofiness, Cravante. How you guys feel about this?
I hate Prime Video, but let me not say it too loudly. Hopefully, it's the same way it was last year, if you know what I mean, because it was a good thing. So yes.
Wait, hold on.
We'll talk offline.
It's the who is it? The Vikings and the Eagles?
Yes, from Philly.
I don't know, man. I'll lean Eagles but the Eagles did not look great in their
No.
performance with the against the Patriots. Hell, neither did the Vikings. So what are we talking about?
I'm going with the Eagles as well. They're Eagles at home, right?
Yes.
Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles well.
All right, let's get to Raiders Bills Sunday 1:00.
Ugh.
Bills. I think they bounce back. I think you can't be if you Josh Allen, you can't be this bad against them. They will bounce back.
I'll take the Bills. So I think the Raiders pulled a great with the Denver Broncos. I don't think there's no way the Raiders start 2-0. So I'm gonna lean Bills that they bounce back and they had better.
Yeah, no spread for that game yet, but Vikings Eagles is 7-point spread. Chiefs travel to Jacksonville, 3 points for Kansas City in Jacksonville.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough game.
I don't know.
That's a tough game.
What's Kelsey's status? Because with these wide receivers, I don't like the Chiefs, yo. I
don't either. But I'm not. You know what? I think Kelsey will be back. Chris Jones will be playing. I can't go. I gotta go with the Chiefs. I gotta go with the Chiefs.
Chris Jones will be back. That is.
Yes. Yes. He just signed. He's going to play. So that makes a difference. So I think the Chiefs will find a way to win, probably by a slim margin, if anything.
Oh no, that would be by a lot. As a matter of fact, I might take the Jaguars to cover because I think it's going to be close. There's no way the Chiefs in the condition that they're in, if they win, that they're going to blow anybody out. So I'll go with Patrick Mahomes and them, Andy Reid, to figure something out and come out better in week 2.
Chargers travel to Tennessee. Chargers 3-point favorites.
I want to pick the Titans so bad. Oh, I want to pick the Titans so bad.
No, you don't. They were terrible yesterday.
I'm picking the Chargers. I can't pick. Brian Tannehill had 3 interceptions?
Yeah, their offense is terrible.
He was looking like Josh Allen out there.
Nah, I got to go with the other team. I can't.
Man, I want to pick Tennessee so bad, but the Chargers, I think they will bounce back. Their offense, I think ultimately their offense will be too much for Tennessee, because I think the Chargers will probably average somewhere in the mid-20s for the year, and Tennessee ain't doing nothing with that.
Packers Falcons. This should be a fun game. Green Bay 1-point favorites. This is basically a pick'em, Cravante.
That is a pick'em. Okay, I'm gonna show some love, Raj. I'm gonna show some love, but as soon as I get how to do this.
There you go.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna show some love, and I'm gonna go to Green Bay Packers. Where is it at?
In Atlanta.
Oh shoot! Oh boy.
I'm going with the Packers. I mean, Atlanta looked great last week, but I'm going with the Packers, man. I think Jordan Love is the guy, man. I just think he's the guy.
And that defense still is pretty good.
Yes, and Aaron Jones is still my boy, and he still get me points like crazy. So I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah.
Seahawks. Go ahead. Seahawks Lions from Detroit. Detroit 6 points favorites. I think Detroit's gonna, yeah.
Give me them Lions. I'm taking those Lions.
Run it up, Detroit.
2 0-1 teams. Colts Texans 1:00. Basically a pick 'em. Indy by 1.
Ugly divisional game. What's Anthony Richardson's status? Does anybody know?
He got hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt at the end of the game, but I think he walked off under his own power. Something.
I'll be honest with you. I like the Texans. I think their defense is a lot better than the Colts, from what I've seen, up close and personal. I think they squeak out a win. It's a good football. As John Harbaugh said in his presser, that's a good football team. They're going to surprise some people. I think this is one of those games.
If Anthony Richardson doesn't play, I like the Texans as well.
All right, we got Bears Buccaneers.
Bears Buccaneers.
Ooh. Tampa by 3.
Buccaneers won.
You said what's the spread?
Tampa by 3. So they actually like Tampa in this game.
Is the Bucs at home?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I'll take Tampa Bay. Not because I want to. Not because I want to. Because I want to go to the Bills, but on the road, they still look like they're disorganized offensively.
Giants, Cardinals.
Oh my God.
4 points.
Oh my God. Are you serious? I gotta go to the
4 points
Giants,
right now.
man. I gotta go with the Giants. They after getting completely annihilated last week.
They have to.
That's a must win for them. They can't. I gotta go. The Cardinals is a terrible team.
Cardinals pretty bad. I'll go with the Giants, and trust me, I hope they lose though. But
of course I know why you hope they lose, but the Giants got to win. There's no way.
It's like
Dre, you got any picks you want to throw in here? Or I mean, we got Giants, Cardinals, we got Bears, Buccaneers, Colts, Texans, Seahawks, Lions, Packers, Falcons, Chargers, Titans, Chiefs, Jaguars.
That Bears Buccaneers, that's a little harder to pick than I thought originally, because I swore that Baker Mayfield was going to stink up the joint, and he actually didn't look bad week 1. Justin Fields, I'm a little nervous for him, but I mean, it was week 1. And then, the Giants, how they looked, man, they were supposed to, really be on the up and up, but maybe it's just because the Cowboys, and it's a divisional game, and they were just able to match up with them really well. And then also, you guys will talk about the Eagles and the Vikings game. So those are some of I think some of those are like a little toss-up games, but I say the Eagles. I'm still going to roll with the Bears and the Giants and some of those picks.
We got 49ers, Rams, San Francisco by 8. I think this is a lot. 49ers.
49ers.
Yeah.
Washington.
I think they will beat the hell out the Rams. But Dre, you can say it this week. Would you like to say it? I know we might not be able to say it much this year. Do you want to do it for the Rams one time for the good people?
Man, not this time. They gonna get Ram shotted. That's what they about to get.
Okay.
They about to get their asses Ram rotted up out of that stadium.
Is 49ers and Rams?
49ers and the Rams.
Yeah. Yes. 8 points for the 49ers, by the way.
That's a lot.
Annihilated, man.
That's a lot.
I might bet. I might bet that just because I'm feeling that good about them.
It's gonna be ugly.
Jets, Cowboys. Looks like no Aaron Rodgers. I'm just gonna say
No,
I'm going with the guy. I'm going with
How
those
about
boys.
them Cowboys?
We them boys is gonna rant. Look, they got lucky tonight. They got lucky tonight. They ain't gonna get lucky next week. Oh no.
Especially if Zach Wilson playing. Oh my heavens.
No.
might be a repeat of last week. He worse than Daniel Jones. Let's go Commanders, Broncos, Cavante. I'm rolling with y'all. I think y'all gonna win this one.
Ooh, me too, man. Russell Wilson looks like he is not gonna get back to how we knew and loved him from Seattle.
And he should have stayed his butt in Seattle too, because I'm going with the Commanders as well.
Oh wow.
I don't trust Denver, man. I think he's done.
Vegas might be better than Denver, and I didn't think that coming into the year.
Oh wow.
Torn Achilles, broken.
Yeah, I was getting ready. I just got that. They'll have the MRI. They'll have the MRI tomorrow. But if he has a torn Achilles, Jets season done.
I told you. When I texted my man, I told him. I was like, if it said ankle, if it says calf, ankle, or anything like that, is either one or two things. It's torn ACL or torn Achilles. And at 39 years old, you do not want no torn Achilles. That's a 2-year injury. I understand he's not a wide receiver or a tight end or whatever, but at his advanced age, I know he's on a 2-year deal with the Jets. That's he's pretty much done, man. As a quarterback, I think he's done. I think Duck is done, and that's really sad, man, because he is one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Oh my God.
All jokes aside, I didn't like that he went to the Jets, but I understood that they needed him badly, and they risked a lot to get him, because right now they have a great defense. good offensive pieces, a decent offensive line, good running game with Dalvin Cook. They signed in the offseason. And this is just a shame, man. This is just really bad because this entire week one has been kind of, crazy on the injury front. As I was saying earlier, I was watching Harbaugh's press conference, and he talked about like they're going to try to make some changes going into the future of the league because they don't have enough time to ramp up. They, be honest with you, they probably needed those 4 preseason games instead of just 3, and they need to start training a lot earlier than what they do. Maybe start training camp early July instead of late July. But this devastating, man. This really sucks because I kind of wanted to see where Aaron Rodgers was going to do this shit with the Jets.
Can I let me chime in, Cavante, real quick. I think that Raj has a really good point because when I saw the Ravens yesterday, and Raj, you can really allude because you were at the game. Yesterday when I was saying like how the Ravens looked from the offensive standpoint, and it's going to take them some time. I think the Ravens were one of those teams, and I know we're really scared about preseason, but those 3 games are needed when it's a new offense of new pieces right there. I think that would have helped the Ravens look a lot better in week 1 if you had played them for just a couple series. I think that really could have helped because I mean the offenses just take so much time now to click. And as far as Aaron Rodgers, hopefully it's not an Achilles injury because, like you said, his advanced age, that's the worst injury right now. At one point, it was the ACL, and then now you're seeing people come back quicker from ACL injuries. But I mean, the Achilles, that was basically the end of the great Kobe Bryant once he got his Achilles hurt. And then Kevin Durant. Granted, Kevin Durant bounced back from his Achilles injury, but he's not the same Kevin Durant that we're used to, who was dominating, both with the Oklahoma City Thunder and with the Golden State Warriors. So since he went down in the finals, I mean, even him in Brooklyn and him with the Phoenix Suns, he just hasn't looked like the same Kevin Durant that we're used to. So, it's very unfortunate. And then here with the Ravens, JK has an Achilles injury as well. And that's from the running back position. So I can just only imagine Aaron Rodgers from the quarterback position. So that's a devastating injury. And like you said, Raj, that could be up to possibly 2 years because it's going to be a year at least before he can even possibly come back. Then you have to strengthen it, be able to maneuver on it. So
push off on it.
I just hope that that's not the case. And, the Flex Zone will give you an update once we find out. But hopefully for Aaron Rodgers, it's not, especially the city of New York, because they had such high expectations, for him. And then we were really hoping because the Jets, since they haven't had this good of a team since the Rex Ryan's days about a decade ago. So it just really, really sucks if that's the case, and I just hope not. And I can only imagine tomorrow on Get Up how Greeny is going to be on.
He's probably gonna be in tears tomorrow.
He's gonna cry on the show.
So
I mean, he's been going crazy these last couple weeks. I've seen so much goofiness from him.
Call Cowherd's guy, Mac.
Oh, Jason McIntyre.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell, he's a big time Jets fan. He was talking a bunch of junk too. Dang, that's tough.
Our boy Q, another Jets fan. So
Method Man is a Jets fan as well. Never knew that, but I found out recently that he's a Jets fan. So it's just Jets Nation is just gonna be like, they might as well just get a big old tissue box, honestly. Just cry together, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because this is devastating. It's just devastating. You do all of this. You could have had Derek Carr. He was sitting in your office for like a week. Like, please sign me. They was like, nah, we don't want you, bro. You could have had Jackson. I mean, Lamar was like, "Give me this nice contract. You could have Lamar for a big contract," and the Ravens was probably not going to match it. And then you have Aaron Rodgers, who's the last choice. I mean, granted, he's not the same guy he was earlier in Green Bay, but he's still a serviceable, good quarterback.
I can't blame them if I mean all those quarterbacks are good, but if you know that you can possibly get Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not mad at them
he's
for
about to be 40. It's different. It's levels to this. He's about to be 40 years old. I mean, I get it from what he did in Green Bay, but we saw last season that he wasn't the same Aaron Rodgers. And we seen this already. We seen that he wasn't that guy.
Let's get to the rest of these picks real quick. Sunday night, Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins 2.5-point favorites.
Who was saying?
Dolphins, Patriots, Sunday night.
Oh, Dolphins.
The Dolphins. Listen, now the Patriots. That is a divisional game. I don't think they're just gonna wash them, but I am gonna go with the Dolphins.
And next week, I didn't realize this. We have a double header on Monday Night Football. Saints, Panthers, 7:00, and Browns, Steelers, 8:00. The Saints, Panthers is on ESPN. Browns, Steelers is on ABC.
So wait a minute. I do have a question about that. I wonder who's going to call those games because you have Troy and
I feel like they're going to get the Browns Steelers game. I just feel like that's the number one game.
And then I wonder who would call the other game because then also what are the Manning brothers? Which one they gonna call?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So or what they could possibly do is something that college football did. And I didn't realize kind of how Manning's they do it. When I flipped over to ESPN2 during the Texas Alabama game, Pat McAfee was out there on the field actually. So that could be a possibility. I don't know, but that's interesting to see like who they would possibly get to call both games.
So what was the game again?
Saints, Panthers. Saints 3-point favorites. And then it's in Carolina. And then Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh. Cleveland 2-point favorites.
Going Cleveland. They go to
divisional matchups, huh? I'm going with the Saints because I think rough sledding for Bryce Young in that offense. And excuse me, Cleveland's Pittsburgh's gonna have a tough time with that D line, yo. They are going to be rough. I'll go with Browns.
Same as Cravante, Saints Browns. But you just hate to see Mike Thomas start 0-2, man.
It don't matter. He's gonna start 0-2. So there you go.
Cravante, you ready to get goofy, brother? Before we get
we missed the game. We missed the game that we never covered.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I definitely skipped over the Ravens because I don't. Ravens Bengals.
Oh, that's going to be a tough one because I can't see the Bengals starting 0-2 either.
I can't either.
They've done it before.
but they didn't have Burrow back there. That's the thing, though.
They had Burrow.
I'm going on a limb. I'm picking the Ravens. I might be wrong, but I'm picking the Ravens.
I'm going with the Bengals because typically when teams get embarrassed and you have a legitimate quarterback, they play significantly better the next week. And unfortunately, the Ravens injury struck again. So I'm going to go with the Bengals. I believe they're favored by 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll with the Bengals in this one, only simply for the reasons just because of last week. I think, like I said, it's going to take the Ravens some time to get that offense acclimated. I think that they're going to split the series for years to come, and I think that right now, the Bengals just have it, like you said, Cravante. They're going to be a little more motivated while the Ravens are still working out their rust.
Roger, I do agree. The Ravens could win this game.
They could.
They could have won last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They could have won last year.
It's a divisional
definitely
game.
win this game.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Especially
way
if
Joe Burrow looked last week. I mean,
if the defense can just limit those big plays, because we know they're going to try to throw the ball.
And also, I think that one thing that people don't take into account, Byron, the Ravens played the Bengals really well. And Lamar is one of the few quarterbacks that can actually go now, and maybe not toe for toe throwing with him, but kind of similar to Patrick Mahomes, where Lamar is gonna at least get the game. He's gonna be able to like keep it close, and not have it really as a blowout. So, and it's a divisional game, and I can just only think back to last season where, in the playoffs, our backup Huntley he kept it close. So I can just imagine how Lamar is going to be. So that's why I'm the Bengals. I think it's going to be a close game, but and what, like you said, wouldn't surprise me if the Ravens were able to pull it out. But this is a road game too. So
yeah, the Browns ran the ball very well, and that D-line got after Joe Burrow. So we'll see what happens. Look later on in this week. I have a full preview and prediction on the channel. So Cavante, sorry about that. You ready to get goofy now, my guy?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's bring him out.
Gosh, something wrong here.
Oh, my good brother, make it each and every week. Welcome, good people, to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me time to let me tell the good people who I thought was goofy this week. And week 1 in football, you know there's quite a bit. But for the sake of time, I'm gonna keep it short. But first things first, I have 2 levels of goofiness. This is, unfortunately, is Jet Green. And just unfortunate Jet Green, because the hopes were so high, and like that they've been taken away. I can't say it's Packer Green because shout out to the love. They're doing pretty well right now. So Jet Green is a low level goofy. We usually laugh at it, we kiki, we haha, and we move on in the hopes that it does not turn into a high level goofy, which is Cardinals send red. High level goofiness. We've gone too far. We have to congregate. We have to come together. We have to figure out what's going on. We have to talk about what's going on to figure out why is this goofy event gone too far. And that event, there were 2. I'm gonna leave the Steelers alone because I talked about them. They got my not so game ball, so I'm not gonna talk about them, because there was one team that got beat even worse than they did, and it's from my division, East. Oh, and the person that gave them the whooping was also from my division, the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Giants 40 burger to donuts. So we had burgers and we had donuts. We had 40 burgers and we had donuts last night for Sunday Night Football. And Mac Jones had less than 200 yards passing, 2 interceptions, and he got sacked 7 times. It felt like 17 times. But they only recorded 7 sacks, which is amazing because I just knew it was at least 10. I just knew it was at least 10. I think the Cowboys beating the Giants like this really solidifies that there's a dividing line in the NFC East. There's 2 teams that's up here and there's 2 teams down here. Unfortunately, my Commanders are on the bottom end, and so are the Giants. And then the upper echelon of the NFC East, unfortunately, hate to say it, it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. But God damn it, the New York Giants, what the hell was that? What y'all was at home. Y'all was at the crib. And y'all didn't even play. Y'all was not even play. Put up nothing. Absolutely nothing. And not to mention, Dak Prescott did not have an amazing game by no stretch of the imagination. And you look at Dak Prescott's numbers and stats, where did they get these 40 points from? Special team scored first. The first touchdown of the game was a blocked field goal, if I'm not mistaken. The next touchdown was a defensive touchdown. Well, that's it. It's over from that point now. All the pressure is off of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense. And now that Cowboys defense can go pin their ears back and go after Daniel Jones. And that's exactly what they did. No running game really to speak of with Saquon Barkley. So once the Giants became one-dimensional, Michael Parsons and them boys had their absolute way with Daniel Jones. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't mind it. I did not mind it at all. I love the Giants beat us all the time. And I just knew the Giants were going to take a step back because as long as Daniel Jones is your quarterback, your hopes are going to be mid. Your hopes are going to be somewhere in the middle. There's no way that you legit think you're going to get to where you got, at least where you got to last year. There's no way that's going to happen. Giants are probably not going to the playoffs. And if they do, they're not going to win a playoff game. But I don't think the Giants are even going to make the playoffs at all with that type of performance because it only gets worse in the NFC East. Because they still got to play the Eagles and they got to play the Commanders. Excuse me. But 40-0, trash. Big trash. And they had all these people had the Giants third place in the division. Man, as bad as they look, they should be in the cellar, which they are now, which is they might want to get comfortable with that one because trash, big trash. Goddamn, 0 points at the crib. Now, granted, an honorable mention for not so game ball, and not that we can control this, but my gosh, the weather in the northeastern part of the country was god awful. All games were very, very, very ugly. But for whatever reason, the Giants looked the absolute worst. They looked ill prepared. Not indicative of how Brian Daboll coaches, but I think this kind of goes to the point of what we were talking about before. I think guys need to play in the preseason a little bit more. I'm not saying play the whole game or nothing like that, but y'all need to play a quarter or something because, my gosh, the Steelers and the Giants look like they didn't practice at all. Did not practice at all. At all. And it absolutely showed. Kenny Pickett looked out of sync. Daniel Jones looked out of sync. It was terrible. And I keep bringing up the Steelers, even though this is the Giants goofy, because the Steelers messed up my parlay. You bastards. I need y'all to win. I need y'all to cover. And y'all got whooped.
We on mute? That's what we be muting now?
No, it was someone was getting their ass whooped. Shout out to Engraven, by the way.
Yeah. What's up, Engraven?
Yes.
What's going on, my good brother?
Yes, he came in doing the ass whooping.
Our boy, he'll be on the Flex Zone real soon.
But by the way, he has a new channel. Well, he still have his old channel, but he has a new channel that he has out. So subscribe to more Engraven vids, of course. He's doing every NFL team on his other channel, so check that out. It's good content so far.
Awesome.
Oh, for sure. And shout out to Engravens. But I'm gonna wrap this up. The Giants look terrible, and I figured you would, but y'all look god awful. It was a sin to look that bad. It was a cardinal sin to look that bad at home. The rain, your season home opener against a divisional opponent. You literally laid an egg. Terrible. The Giants, Daniel Jones, all of them, la-da-da, everybody looked terrible, looked really bad. But they are my lone goofy of the week. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great. And the New York Giants on the wrong end of it. You got to do better. Or you don't have to. You don't have to. Yeah.
Galore. Something wrong here.
Well, now that's goofy.
Wow.
About to say, how do you have that over top of Goofy, man?
Only-
Still
only-
beating about
Goofy was whooping ass. Goofy was whooping ass. We breaking out new things for the Goofy of the week. Goofy whooping ass when it calls for ass whooping. Goofy
Man,
get
that
the
was-
belt like on the Goofy movie.
I'm glad.
Oh,
I'm glad
man.
you enjoyed the game, Engraven. It was a good game though, but I was just I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers though. I really do. He wanted to start over again, and he had a team that was prepared to go to the Super Bowl aspirations. It just sucks, man. For him, it sucks.
It does.
Yes,
But you
appreciate
know what,
Engraven.
though?
Like Dre said, he'll be back soon.
But you know what? There is a quarterback that's out there that's looking for a job, and his name is Joe Flacco.
I knew he was gonna say it.
Joe is out there.
Bye.
He wants to come back.
You still love your boy Joe, huh?
Joe, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback too. I'm just saying, Joe's out there. Bring him back.
No Joe Flacco, but we won't slander the guy. He did bring us a Super Bowl, and we
did.
hope to get back
Oh,
there.
Fluco?
Shut up. It's Flacco. You be respectful.
Fluco?
Stop it.
Drizzy Dre, episode 407 in the books next week. Episode 408, brother. What can the people expect?
Man, 408 with our boy Ralph next week. Ralph is our special guest. He'll be talking about those odds and helping us break down not only college, but he'll also be able to help us break down the NFL as well. So looking forward to having my man's on.
Make sure you guys
And then,
hit that like button if you haven't already.
Engraven, he's coming on in October. So we have some really great guests who are just family right now of the Flex Zone at this point.
Big Reg, we got to get you on the show, brother. Big Reg always shows love. We got to get Big Reg on here to talk some Ravens.
Definitely.
Big Reg is a Ravens fan. He's up there in Connecticut, so we got to get his perspective this season. Reach out to us, Big Reg, and we'll reach out to you. We'll figure that out in the coming weeks. But yeah, definitely episode 408 coming up as well. Raj, social media guy, what's coming up on the channel here, brother?
Of course, week 2 previews coming up, and AEW Dynamite is coming up as well. Pretty much the usual Orioles coverage all throughout the week. They continue to keep winning. They also, I forgot to mention, they paid homage to the Orioles at the Ravens game. The real fan Dan, he did the Ravens chant, of course, but he did the Orioles chant as well. He had an Orioles jersey on. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, the Orioles is definitely Orioles content. Ravens preview, Ravens post game show with me and D on Sunday, and we're gonna keep things moving, man, into perspective because we got more things coming.
Yes. Speaking of the Orioles, 4 games, 4 is the magic number. So 4 wins, losses by other teams. So it looks like they're going to clinch that playoff berth this week. I might be live. We'll see what happens this week, how the games play out. Might get an actual post-game show. I know I do the shorts. It's a little easier than doing a live show after every game, so many games. But as they head into the playoffs, definitely we'll have official Orioles post-game shows. We have Ravens post-game shows. Don't ask me how we're going to do it, but we'll make it happen on the channel some way, form, or fashion as we head into October. And as I said, the Orioles look to be clinching real soon. Executive producer, Andre Melton. Senior producer, Cravante Hurd. I know Cravante will be watching the Commanders this week and calling out the goofiness. Social media producer, Big Raj. Yours truly, God's favorite host, the host of The Moist. Make sure you throw your ones up and acknowledge the Hit of the Sports podcast table. The FlexZone1@gmail.com. FlexZone1 on Cash App if you want to support us. Twitter, Instagram, the FlexZone1, and TikTok, the FlexZone Podcast. Look for videos on all platforms as well. Only place fellas give me sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Yes, you'll see us on the channel for Dynamite. You'll see us for the Ravens preview, Ravens post-game show, shorts for the Orioles, and so much more. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. And of course, vote on the poll. Let us know your thoughts on the way out. For everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys. Engraven, Big Reg, Carolyn, everybody that watches this, we'll watch it later as well. We appreciate you. Flex Zone Podcast. putting the kids to bed. Good night, everybody. We'll see you this week for more content on the channel. Have a good night.